Ocean Fire. Today's June 20th. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the list of speakers that we're going to have on here's podium today. We have a couple speakers. First off, Prescott Mayor Marlin Kuykendall has an announcement and a few words. Then we're going to turn the mics over to Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, the Sheriff himself, Scott Masher. And then after that, we're going to do a fire update with Incident Commander Tony Shaka. So let's go ahead and get started. Mayor?
I just think we should start. Like, oh,
Mary, thanks very much. On behalf of the City of Prescott, we want to take this opportunity and where's our leader? Where is, he'll be here 21 hours, right?
A little over 26.
it's right behind you.
Okay. But we just want to say thanks for the cooperation that we've had, actually statewide. We've had people all over the state, different businesses, different governmental organizations that have been checking to see what they can do for the community. And this type of cooperation, we would like to say it's typical for the Prescott area, but we do appreciate it very much. The city, even though the fire is not in the city, we're about 8 miles out. Why it's all one area and one group of people, and we consider all of the folks that have been had to leave their homes. They're still Prescott residents, and we're doing everything that we can to help them. The Prescott Airport has been an instrumental part of this operation. The aviation support, our city police department has been supporting the sheriff's department where they can, and our city fire department has been supporting the effort. We want to say thank you to all of the different firemen that are here and what they're doing. They're sleeping in tents at night, those that are sleeping, and it's all for the common cause to make sure that our natural resources are taken care of. So on behalf of the entire city, to all of you folks, we want to say thank you for what you're doing, getting the word out so that we have good information going out and people really know what's going on. So thanks very much.
All right, and in the mayor's words then, all of this coordinated emergency management is no accident. So to address some ongoing updates with regard to evacuations, I'd like to introduce Yavapai County Sheriff Scott Masher.
Thank you very much. First thing I'd like to do is just tell you a quick story and then thank some people. Yesterday, the day before, I ended up going over to Sundown Acres, and the fire had moved very, very quickly off the mountain and had come down into that neighborhood. It moved so fast that we hadn't had everyone evacuated yet, so we went in mass with a lot of the law enforcement personnel to get those folks out of there. And there was no doubt in my mind that we were going to lose some homes. As I was at one of the residents, the fire was actually in the yard, and out of nowhere came the firefighters. And I have got to tell you, without them there, we would have definitely lost a string of homes in that neighborhood. And at that same moment, big tankers were coming over, dropping slurry on the fire and rescuing those folks trying to get out of there. And one of the young fire guys came up to me, and he was covered in slurry, and I said, "You were right there in the fire." And he said, "Sir, this kept me from catching on fire." And those men and women, they're heroes. And I want to personally right now thank all of the men and women fighting these fires and saving those residents. Without that, there was huge potential to lose not only the residents, but the lives that were there that we were trying to evacuate. So I want to thank the Forest Service, the local firefighters that were there, and I hope I don't miss any, but of course, Forest Service, Hot Shot Crews, Prescott Fire, Chino Valley Fire, Yavapai Central. I saw with my own eyes. I was sure we were going to lose those residents and potentially some lives, and we didn't. So they're the true heroes. God bless them. So, yeah, thank you. So far as the sheriff's office, what we've been doing is it's been very much chaotic. This fire, as we said, has been moving fast. The sheriff's office is responsible primarily for evacuations, maintaining security on those evacuated homes, and providing some traffic control and road closures. And right now, as of today, we've got about 465 residents that have been evacuated out of this area. Behind me on the wall here is a map, and the area that's squared out, as to not leave the microphone, I'll just read those areas to you, the neighborhoods. That's the Granite Basin home site, the Alto Recreation Area, Blackjack, Camp Anytown, American Ranch neighborhood, Sundown Acres, Salillo Grande, north to Dome Road, Stasinski Road area, and Mint Creek Valley. Just as I'm here now, we are evacuating and notifying some branches and some homes that are out to the east of Mint Creek. From the fire projections that we're getting from the Forest Service, we felt it necessary to go out and get those folks out of there. Everyone is doing a great job. I can't thank our law enforcement partners in this. The Forest Service law enforcement, Prescott PD, Chino Valley PD, Sheriff's Office, ADOT has been here to help us. I spoke with the governor's liaison just within the hour. She has made this an emergency declaration for the state, offering us any type of state resources that we may need and reinforcements. Currently with fire personnel, support staff, and law enforcement, I believe we're probably around 740 troops on the ground. And I can tell you that they are giving it 110%, and I can't thank them enough as well. So that's a quick update as to what we're doing. We're not out of it yet, and I don't want to jinx it. No structures have been lost, no lives have been lost, but the projection of these fires to continue in a northwest area where we do have additional residents up in that area. We do have a reverse 911 system that we will call out to these residents to give them a heads up, a little bit of time frame to prepare for evacuations. That can be a little nerve-wracking, but it prompts you to press the button again, to listen to it again. Take your time, listen to what it's saying. Many times it's giving you some time to prepare. It may say you have 4 hours approximately to prepare and get ready. Hopefully most of the folks out there are already taking the precaution to get things ready, prepare your valuables, your medications, your animals. We're having just as big of an issue evacuating livestock as we are people. It's amazing how many folks out here have horses and where they need to take them and things like that. But overall, I think things are going very well. And of course, the Forest Service can give you an update on the fire, the projected burn pattern and what have you. But I'll be happy to stick around and take any questions or anything like that. So thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to you.
Here's a man who needs no introduction, Lieutenant Commander John Scott.
How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good? Okay, so as of right now, a couple of things. Last night's IR flight, as we talked about here, we're at 6,379 acres. We're still with Arizona State Forestry and USDA Forest Service jurisdiction. Still in the full suppression, and we're doing real good. No accidents and injuries, and we're starting to make some progress. I'm happy to tell you, as of right now, we are 10% contained. As we're speaking, Iron Springs Road is being opened, and folks that need to use that for access can take that. Working closely with ADOT and the partners in law enforcement. There's some of the guardrails have burned, so there'll be some barriers in there. I understand the speed limit's been dropped to 25 in there. So we're happy to say that the anchor of the fire that we've been talking about, or the heel of the fire we've been talking about, is secure, and we're making progress. I'm going to give you an update. His crews have made progress from the Iron Springs Road, what we call direct fire line. They've moved up to the base of Little Granite Mountain, and they're holding that right now. I wouldn't call it contained, but right now we're in pretty good shape. Same up here, we've got a dozer line on this west side. You can see it. Yesterday we used a lot of retardant to hold that dozer line, and everything is going well. Up on this north end, as they heated up today and the wind picked up, on this northwest corner, we've got some activity, as you probably drove in and saw, a little activity in here. Projected weather tells us that we've got today and then again tomorrow with winds. By Saturday, the winds are supposed to subside and maybe even a little relative humidity picking up. And this fuel type is driven by the wind. So when the wind stops and our firefighters are able to get a little closer and go on that direct, we think we can bump that containment up quickly, and that's our goal. We are working hard. Working with my operations group, we're assessing what it's going to look like to get residents back in. Our biggest concern right now is we've got this little bit of, you can see this fire on the IR flight right in here. We've got a check line. We burned in last night. We're going to probably extend that a little bit. Our concern to the residents is if this fire would get established, it'll come right back through the neighborhood. So we're not going to try to populate that until we can mitigate that. We have night shifts, we got day shifts, trying to mitigate that as we speak. We understand the sensitivity, understand the residents would like to get back in, and we'd like to get them back in. But I don't want to put them in, take them out, put them in, take them out. So I know they're missing their home. I can feel for that. So, question.
Can you discuss again how you were able to get that 10% containment?
Yes, sir, I am. What happened is, we got the 10% containment by when the fire first started down in Dosey Pit. The crews cut a direct fire line, so they separated the fuel from the fire down to the middle dirt, and they patrolled it for a couple of days, dragged hoses and water, squirted on and extinguished all those hot spots out of there. So we feel, when we talk about containment, we feel that the fire will not escape that containment line, and we feel like we start calling containment. As we get more and more progress, we'll call more and more containment. The bottom line is I don't want to tell you that it's contained and then we have an escape and then we're, not overcoming. That makes sense to you, sir?
Tony, I understand the DC-10 slurry bombers have been called out of the area. Could you explain that?
Yeah, I just got off the phone about 15 minutes ago. All of our air tankers have been pulled to a fire in New Mexico called the Silver Fire. It's a fire that's been going for a while, and I haven't had any other details. I'm waiting to hear.
What does that mean for your fight?
That means we still have 4 heavy helicopters, and they're very effective when we're up close trying to do direct tactics.
Can you talk about the fire activity in the area where the sheriff mentioned he was putting people on notice?
Yes, again, that's up here, like I just said, on that northwest and northeast part of these communities up the Sadinsky Drive. That's we met with the sheriff today and a bunch of other folks, and we kind of used some science and projected if the wind keeps blowing where it might go if we continue to have problems, and it could continue moving in that direction. That's why that evacuation is still in place.
Any specific time on the reopening of Iron Springs?
I think it's opening as we speak right now.
Earliest you might see people going back home?
Well, I don't want to speculate yet.
Do you anticipate having to evacuate any other
I'm
neighborhoods?
hoping not, ma'am. Thank you.
465 homes, is that right?
Still has the fire at 7,500 acres. Who updates that, and where will that reflect what you guys are saying here?
Okay,
I can answer that.
thank you.
Okay.
That's, we're dealing with the technology, ncweb.org.gov, get that right. It gets a lot of use because it's a web page where they report all the wildland fire incidents across the nation. It gets a lot of visits, a lot of hits. It goes up, it goes down. We're trying to keep it updated. And if you're noticing that, thank you for that. We'll get right on it. We've been updating those as we can. We're also updating Facebook and Twitter accounts with the city.
Tony, one last thing. You said no injuries, no lives lost, but the firefighters are battling this blaze in very rugged terrain. There are snakes, there are rocks to fall over. Surely somebody's been hurt somewhere.
No injuries to report. I talked with the medical unit leader a few hours ago, and we haven't seen the bumps and scrapes or anything. The firefighters, part of the tactics is to bring the fire out of the remote, rough country to give the firefighters the best chance to be successful.
Tony, one more time, just a general sense, feeling pretty good about where you're at this point fighting the fire?
Right now, we're here 24, like I tell you all the time, I've been here 2 days. We're making progress. We're getting our feet on the ground. We're getting resources. We're getting good assessments. Like I said, Mother Nature cooperates in the next couple of days. I hope to be standing up in front of you telling you that we've got more containment and we're doing even better than we are. So.
Any chance of getting those cases sent back?
Dell, if we have an immediate need, I'll be negotiating. Yes, can't tell you that I'll be successful, but I'll be negotiating.
Can you go into that a little bit further? The sign that the tankers are gone, is that a concern to you, or is that a sign that things are going really well here and they're not needed as much as they are elsewhere? Is that a concern at all?
It's always you got to understand that those tankers are national resources, and priorities are set on those national resources. Right now, to answer that, if I need an air tanker, I'll have to make my case to get the air tanker back on my priority.
But you lost all 5 of them. I mean, couldn't they have lost 1 or 2 of them here?
That decision's beyond my level.
Tony, real quick, just so
Any
we're all
concern with
clear, what areas are people allowed or going to be allowed to go back to? What areas are still they not allowed to go back to? And what areas could potentially be evacuated if the fire spreads?
Like I said, I hope we have no more potential evacuations. Areas they can go back into are only the Iron Springs Road. They can go back, drive down that if they're living in Skull Valley or Tunnel Flats or anything. Williamson Valley Road still has a hard closure. There's no residents going back in at this time, sir.
You know where the fire administration site is, right off of Williamson Valley Road and that neighborhood, Hokagon? I noticed last night the fire was coming to the pinnacle of the Granite Mountain, kind of coming down the front. Is there any concern for that neighborhood?
Not at this time. That fire is higher up on the mountain. It's got to back down, get some what we call alignment, get some more fuel, and then move again. You got to remember, the prevailing winds in Prescott, Arizona are from the southwest, so they'll push that stuff back up that hill and side slope.
The dozer line that you have there, do you expect the fire then to spread to that dozer line?
Either that or we will come in here and burn this dozer line out. We're assessing that opportunity right now. If the retardant has put the fire out and it doesn't flare up, we may come in with crews and go directly on that fire's edge and create another fire line, and this would be a backup fire line if something went wrong.
Okay, the governor also issued a state of emergency, and in that she mentioned that there's APS power plant that's potentially in danger. Could you show us on the map where that would be?
There's a power line that runs in here, and I don't know about power plants. I'm not briefed on that, ma'am.
Okay.
There's a power line that runs to Baghdad. It's the sole Baghdad power line right now. Since the first day we were here, that power line, to my knowledge, is still energized. I do not know anything about the power plant.
Okay.
Anything else?
Tony, thank you.
Thank you, guys.